And welcome back. According to the United States Department of Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health, when it comes to African American women, they have the highest rates of being overweight, also obese or compared to other groups in the United States. And so we talk about Black Girls Run. It was created in an effort to tackle the growing obesity epidemic in the African American community, as well as provide encouragement and resources to both new as well as veteran runners. Their goal, encouraging and motivating Black women to have a healthy lifestyle. Joining us to share her point of view and share a little bit more about Black Girls Run on this matter, we're talking with the owner and the CEO of Black Girls Run, Ms. Ell Alexander. And thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, Daren, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad to have you sharing with us. And listen, when we talk about really your organization, it's a healthy organization, but not only is it a healthy organization, a holistic organization. So for someone that doesn't know the background about Black Girls Run, please give us a little bit of an insight.
Sure. So in a nutshell, we are just a dynamic running crew. No bias at all. But we are a movement across the country that empowers African American women. But we welcome all women to the pavement with us to get women healthy and active. And through community, through the idea of community and accountability, building sisterhood, we want women to just get healthy and active to really make this lifestyle a priority, to really make our community, a Black community, our female community, to make us healthy, just as healthy as possible. And so we do that through the sport of running, but we do a lot of other things as well. But it's definitely, like you said, a holistic approach. As much as we talk about physical activity, we also talk about nutrition. We also talk about self-care, things to take care of the entire body, not just getting our feet on the pavement. So it really is a movement that we just talk about health and fitness as a whole.
Yeah. When we talk about health and fitness, obviously becoming healthy, making the choice to do fitness, it sometimes is a strenuous thought just to get into the practice of doing it. But I know that you talk about partnerships and women helping women. So give us a little bit about how the ladies encourage each other, these women encourage each other to get to the place of running, no matter where it is. Like, you know, if you're just starting, you still got some help and you have a community that actually supports you.
Absolutely. So we call it healthy peer pressure. We can definitely guarantee 9 times out of 10, once you make the hardest step, which is usually the first step of mentally getting ready to head out the front door or lace up those shoes, once you get past that hurdle and you come out to a BGR meetup or meeting with your BGR partner or coming out for the first time with a BGR group, we know you will feel the BGR energy, that spirit of sisterhood, that no woman will be left behind. We meet you where you are on the pavement, whether you are walking your first mile or whether you've been running for years and now trying to sustain a healthy lifestyle. Wherever you are in your journey, we want to meet you there and make sure we hold your hand and hold you accountable to become healthier and more active. Like we said, no woman is left behind. Everyone's journey is completely different, but we know that once you get pulled into this great peer pressure of getting healthy and active and being surrounded by like-minded women that look like you. We've created safe spaces for you to come where you won't feel intimidated, that it's healthy competition. We know that you'll stick with us for the long run. I can guarantee it.
So when you talk about that supportive space, I mean, that's a place and space that many people really desire, because when you're trying to get this going and you're trying to get to the next level or just even trying to get out the door, doing it by yourself is not always the best practice. So talk to us about that supportive space and what that really has meant in the lives of some of these women.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we hear it all the time. We go through, I wasn't a runner all my life. I wasn't physically active all my life. But when I got paired up with Black Girls Run, and I knew that I had a group of women that would be waiting on me Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., I knew I needed to get up. I needed to get my clothes on, and I needed to get out there to be them, because it was respectable, and be respectful of their time, that we were making this commitment commitment to each other, but also that I needed to hold myself accountable and that they were holding me accountable as well. So as much as we talk about community and sisterhood, it's an accountability factor that you have someone meeting you, that it's a little bit easier when you have a partner and someone to cheer you on and encourage you. So I think doing it together, and obviously the current climate that we're in of social distancing, the idea of community is probably more important ever than now, because it's very easy to say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or let's just start on Monday. Monday sounds good. And then it becomes the following week. And before you know it, a few months have rolled past. So if you can get around a community, like I said, that's very like-minded, that we've created a space for you to come in, for you to just get going, but that you'll be surrounded by people that want to see you succeed. I think that's what helps people to kind of keep pushing through the process.
So you're in 34 cities and you're across the nation. Talk about some of the places and the spaces that you're actually in.
Yeah, so we have 74 cities. We're
I'm
located
sorry.
in about 35 states across the country. We have about 250,000 members across the country. But we have women from anywhere from Los Angeles and Fresno, California, up to Boston and down to Miami, Houston, any major city that you can probably think of. We have some type of presence there in terms of groups. We have about 190 ambassadors that lead these dynamic groups across the country, and another few hundred run coordinators. These are the women that are out meeting you at a 6 a.m. on a Tuesday morning to do 3 and 4 miles. So we have a infrastructure, if you will, of dynamic women that are ready to be on the pavement with you.
Walk us through for an average person who takes part. Say if, my sister decides to join and she now becomes a part. How does it work? And walk us through what a typical possible run would look like.
Yeah, so she'll go to the website, blackgirlsrun.com. Let's say she lives in Boston,
Hmm.
and we'll say, hey, you can join the Boston group. She'll link up virtually with our two ambassadors there, Tiffany and Katanya, and they'll say, hey, we have a Tuesday run at this recreation center. We meet at 6 a.m. Come on out with us. Obviously, in COVID-19 days, we have a waiver for you to sign. You'll come out. We're taking temperatures right now, obviously, because that's the state that we're in. So very unique times. But she'll come out, make sure that she feels good, that she feels healthy before she comes out. And then she come out for a run. We'll explain the route. We'll do a few stretches. And then people head off on their route. And everyone waits until the last person comes in. So sometimes we have a couple of routes depending on the level of activity, or if you're a walker. Sometimes we do a 20-minute in, 20-minute out. So wherever you end up at 20 minutes, you turn around and just come back to the start. And then we try to do, we do like a kind of like a parade, if you will, at the end, where people are just a shoot for you to come back in to celebrate that you're finished. So it's always encouraging people. But yeah, it's just kind of your typical meetup run. Nothing special about it. It's just a whole bunch of dynamic, beautiful women just getting on the pavement to run with each other.
What made it special for you? Because you said you weren't always a runner, right? And this
Right.
was what you normally do. What
Yeah.
was the selling point for you to get you in to say, I'm in?
Well, I actually started running on my own. I hit a heavy weight after grad school. It's been about 10 years ago that I started running. And I always did group sports. I was an athlete for most of my life. And then after college, just didn't know how to process being an adult, and
Hmm. Uh,
was eating whatever, and weight was coming on faster than it was losing. And so I was like, all right, I need to do something. And then I had a short stint where I was like 23 years old and dealing with high blood pressure. And my doctor was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, high blood pressure and 23 years old, they just don't go together. You need to change your diet. You need to change your physical activity level. And so I started running on my own. I just signed up for a 10K locally here in Richmond.
mhm.
And then I got paired with BGR actually through my professional expertise, through marketing and PR, and then just got welcomed into the community and just fell in love with running. But it was really the women around me that just really motivated me. I was meeting women that were older than me, that were running half marathons and marathons. Bodies looked like they were 23 years old. And I was like, I need to be a part of this. Whatever Kool-Aid they're drinking, I want to drink it. And so it was really that welcoming community. They were teaching me things that I had just not been exposed to in my life outside of being just a basketball player. And now this whole running world was something completely new to me. And it was welcoming how to eat healthy, but also like the things that you eat, or how to, people were doing yoga and they were also running and then signing up for marathons. And then people were traveling and doing runcations. I was like, what is this? And so it was a whole new world.
Right.
And I immediately got pulled into it, and I have met some of my best girlfriends that I'm still running with to this day.
Well, you've got this great sisterhood going, right? So you start running, you get the sisterhood going, you're out there, you're meeting people across the nation. And at the same time, you're also doing something healthy and holistic, where you're really dealing with the issue of obesity. And when you look at the numbers, and you look at the numbers, particularly when it comes to African-American women, we lose a lot to high blood pressure, lose a lot to obesity. What's it feel like for you being able to offer this healthy alternative to sisters and really help them in the struggle?
Yeah, we are offering just what you said. We're offering a solution to the problem. Very often people say, well, I can't run, or I can barely do this. And so we want to give them, well, the why not? Like, why can't you do this? We have 250,000 women a part of this organization, all shapes, all sizes, all ages, that are doing it. So why can't you be a part of it? And it empowers me as the owner and CEO, but it empowers our entire organization, women across our organization, to see women that are out here that are not your traditional runner model. There's curvy women, there's all shapes, all sizes, women that are actually out here running and hit the pavement. And so it empowers us that we're actually able to move the needle to get our communities healthy and active, because as women, as we become healthier and active, we know that those activities will translate into our families and to the next generation to be healthy and active as well.
Yeah, I want to give our viewers an opportunity to take a look at some statistics. When it talks about African-American women, they actually have the highest rates of being overweight or obese compared to other groups in the United States. About 4 out of 5 African-American women are overweight or obese. And in 2015, African-Americans were 1.4 times as likely to be obese as non-Hispanic whites. And then in 2015, African-American women were 60% more likely to be obese than non-Hispanic white women. And then the key statistic, in 2011 to 2014, African-American girls were 50% more likely to be overweight than non-Hispanic white girls. And so let me ask about these numbers that I just threw out there. What have you found from just your work and having boots on the ground? What do we have that supports why these numbers are the way they are?
I mean, there's a lot of things that, obviously the state that we're in, you can start peeling back the layers, and it's a lot of systemic racism issues that are there. Having access to healthy foods, generationalized welfare, having sections of our communities where they can't get to a grocery store that's not on a public transportation access line, or they can't walk to a farmer's market, or they don't even have walkable sidewalks to begin with. So there's a lot of issues as you start peeling it back. Just culturally as a people, we over funerals and weddings and baby showers, and we like cooking, and we like fellowshipping, and we do a lot of that over food. But even on a flip side, we even talk about hair. This new natural hair phenomenon is something very recent. Black women, we were spending a lot of money on getting our hair pressed and weaves and things of that nature. And if you catch me on a straight day, you will not see me running. So, and that's a very real statement.
Mhm.
You know, we spend hours at the hair salon, but we were putting our beauty before our health. And now I think those conversations have started to change. That now that we see, okay, things that we've been doing historically, they aren't working for us. For some reason, Black women are at the top of the charts for cancer and high blood pressure and diabetes and heart disease. So we need to do something to change it up. So obviously the natural hair for Nam has allowed us to really color outside those lines, if you will. You know, and we've been able to be advocates in communities for, you know, where we need to get streets paved, or we need to have safety in terms of, you know, lighting at night to make sure that women and communities feel safe just to go outside to run. But then also just the creation of groups like Black Girls Run. We need to make sure that we have spaces for women to come together, that they feel welcome, that they feel encouraged. Very often we get the question of, why Black girls run? Why isn't it all girls run? Or don't you all consider yourself racist? You wouldn't believe the comments that I get on a regular basis. And it's the same thing. We wouldn't have to say that Black girls run. We wouldn't have to say that. We wouldn't have to say all, you know, Black girls run if it was welcoming to everyone. So we're very fortunate being in a space that we're starting to get more and more women just to become more healthy and more healthier and more active. But those numbers, you know, they underscore the need for us and why this movement absolutely continues.
A powerful, powerful movement. And thank you so much for the great work that you guys are doing
Thank
in
you.
terms of really, like, you know, shaping people and helping people to be healthy as well as the holistic. And so before we go, tell people how they get connected,
Yes.
if they want to run, or if they want to find out what's in their neighborhood.
Yes, please. Head to our website, blackgirlsrun.com. We have all 74 groups listed there. I can guarantee there's a group there in your community. Obviously, with the pandemic happening right now, a lot of virtual challenges, but we still want to welcome you into our community and still get you started on the right step. And then join us and follow us on all of our social media fronts, just to stay connected with Black Girls Run. And we look forward to seeing everyone at a race and on the pavement very soon.
Ell Alexander, thank you so much for being with us, talking about Black Girls Run as our sisters are taking it to another level. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
All righty. We've got more show. We want you to stay with us. Don't go anywhere. The Social Justice Forum is coming up right after this.